Hey everyone, I just wanted to check in at the end of our first blog assignment. I had my previous video talking about leaving comments and things after many of you had already posted your initial blog post. And I mentioned a few different ideas about evaluating online sources. I think we had um, some really good posts and rubrics about what are the key things you should look for when you are evaluating online sources for credibility and reliability. And reliability is one that we didn't go into quite as much. We focused more on credibility, and that's because of the way that I framed the assignment. So that is of my own doing. But I wanted to just pose a few different questions here. Some of them I've already touched on in the last video, but just to give you an opportunity to continue the work that we've been doing on the evaluation of online sources, and so that we can help prepare us for the final project. After I post this video, I'll be providing feedback to you on your final project topics, as well as your journal entries that you finished for Sunday. So I just wanted to kind of point us in the right direction as you start doing your research for the final project. So you're going to want to think not just in terms of collecting as many things as you can about your topic, but also thinking about what are the most relevant sources that will help you to specifically address your research questions, and which sources are the most credible and why. So that extra credit that I mentioned, if you'd like to respond to this, please just start a new post in the blog. So you should be able to do that. Just create a second post and I can give you credit there. You can respond to just one of the questions that I'm going to ask, or you can respond to all of them for up to 20 points extra credit, depending on how many you want to take on and how thorough you want to be. So first off, this may be because of the video I posted or not, but it seems like many of us kind of shied away from having the URL as a standard for whether a source is credible or not. But many of us did kind of take that position that .coms are inherently less credible than .edu or .govs or even .nets. That may be true, but it's not always. I think the general rule does apply many times, if not most times, but that's not always the case. So for the first question, can you think of any .com websites that are good examples of credible sources of information online? Those can be from a variety of different types of sites. So share one of those with us and explain what makes it credible, just briefly. What is it about that site that makes it credible? And what I'm really wanting us to focus on here is not just what the site is, but what are some of the other ways that we can figure out whether the information that we are interacting with online is credible. Many of us also spoke about the author, trying to identify who the author is and where he or she is getting their sources from. But some of us dropped it right there. So what do you need to do to figure out whether an author is credible, and how can you evaluate his or her sources? And then lastly, I wanted us to think about Wikipedia and encyclopedia.com types of references or sources online. Because many of us are very quick to dismiss those right out of hand. Wikipedia is no good. And I know that we've been taught that. I mean, I was taught that when I was still an undergrad and going into grad school. Wikipedia is no good. But then I had a couple of professors who said, well, wait a minute, Wikipedia actually can be helpful for certain things, or if you have certain types of questions. So for this question, in what ways can Wikipedia be useful? And kind of right along with that are encyclopedia types of sources. So in this one, I want us to think about the type of source that is an encyclopedia site. So what kinds of information would you get from encyclopedia.com or biography.com? And how might that information differ from an online article, say in an academic journal or even a whole book? What is the specific purpose of an encyclopedia site, and what kind of information are you going to find there? So those are just some of the questions that I wanted you to delve into, and I'm leaving this, as you can tell, quite open-ended. So you can approach those in any way that you want. If you want, you don't have to, but if you do, please post those to the blog, and hopefully we can continue some of the conversations that we've been having and prepare further for the final project.